Hi guys, it's Mary. Welcome back. I decided to shove the wasted basket back a little bit farther so that I could do this, because it seems like I keep doing the same videos over and over again because I only have 4 videos I can do a month now. That's usually the same 4 videos. So I was thinking the other day about, what's my favorite stuff I use from the drugstore. And in making this video, I didn't do it on purpose, but in making this video, I discovered not only did I come up with a bunch of good, favorites of mine from the drugstore, most of them are dupes for high end, probably why I like these products so much. And so this is the face that I ended up with. It's all drugstore. Okay, so we're gonna do this really quick first. I know, I just said that it was all drugstore. Hear me out, okay? Just hang with me a minute. I went to the drugstore to get some things that I adore, that I would say, you need to get this and use this, okay? Favorites from the drugstore. And I did pick up a few things because I was like, some of the things that I would say in this video use, and I will show you those, but technically not from the drugstore like CVS or Walgreens. Brands that are drugstore pricing, but they aren't in the drugstore actually. I know some of you are like a real stickler like that. You're like, well, Moira isn't drugstore, or Essence isn't drugstore. For that matter, the Ulta brand isn't drugstore. I mean, yeah, you're technically right, but I mean, for me, drugstore is the pricing of drugstore. The point is that the primer, I would say, for your eyes to get from the drugstore would be Milani's. So I went to the drugstore, I went to CVS to pick up things that I didn't have here, so that I was technically showing you things that were from the actual drugstore that I've used, love, would recommend, and they didn't have a Milani section anymore at my CVS. And I would say that is probably as close of a dupe, if not better than, Urban Decay Original Eye Primer that everybody loves so much, right? I think that nobody at the drugstore does eyeshadow as good as e.l.f. In particular, these little bite-sized palettes. To me, that's just your go-to. And I actually, since I was there, took a look. And I'm like, no, I don't care for Maybelline's eyeshadows. I don't care for CoverGirl's eyeshadows. They don't have enough oomph to them. For me, I looked at Revlon's and I'm like, no, not so much the long palettes, which those are okay too, but I love these bite-sized palettes, and I think you can't go wrong. And if you go back and you look at my declutters, you'll see that I have thrown away stuff that was like Pat McGrath, gotten rid of it, and kept bite-sized eyeshadow palettes from e.l.f. We'll do this one.
Psych! Sorry.
I changed my mind. We're going to use this one. I've not used it in a long time. And you've seen me do eyeshadow over and over and over. So there's no point in doing that. I'll just hurry up and put it on. This is by Maybelline. It's the Master Precise Skinny. This is black. I think they also have it in brown. This has been around for a long time, and I still think that it's the best. And it's because it's so little. Let's turn this up here and you'll see what I mean. So you can get the smallest of lines with this, making it very easy to tight line without poking yourself in the eye. You just come right up here and it glides in. I mean, look at this. And if you're not a tight liner, but you want to get in your lashes, and you know how sometimes you just want to darken up the lash line, but then it's too much. You've got too much on your lid. Not with this.
Did you guys hear like my throat was farting?
I've been sitting here going, are you really going to open these? Like, I have all of this mascara open in the Wasted and Glitzy Fritzzyville basket right now. So if I open these 2 I purchased, but I didn't want to be like, yeah, this is the best mascara at the drugstore. Buy this. Oh, but I won't. So I'm just going to show you. Yes, I did too buy them. Okay, it's these. These right here. 2 totally different mascaras, but I feel like they're musts. If you're at the drugstore, you should pick up back up something. And one is Maybelline Sky High. Oh, I love that mascara so much. And not just at the drugstore. It's probably one of my favorite mascaras. And also this one from e.l.f. And it's the Lash XTNDR. This is a tubing mascara. It really does give you this lash. And it's tubing. So I can cry, sweat, or whatever in it, and it doesn't come off of me. This, such a beautiful lash. This is, in my opinion, a straight up dupe for Benefit Bad Gal Bang. Right down to the actual brush. So yeah, why wouldn't you purchase this instead of paying for Bad Gal Bang? They definitely make my top 10 mascaras, not just drugstore mascaras. But like I said, because I don't want to open a new mascara when I have all of this open, this lash that I'm going to get with this Caloray, I can do that with either one of those two. My favorite primer at the drugstore is by NYX. It is the Marshmellow. And by the way, they also have a setting spray, which I probably could have chose, but if we're doing what I think is the best, that ain't it. But this, love it. So let's put that on. This stuff here has skincare properties to it also. So I just adore this primer. That's really good. And if you enjoy that one and you're there, you're perusing around, you can't find it, the CoverGirl Simply Ageless. That one is really good too. And it has skincare properties in it as well. I might even have some of that back there.
A few moments later.
I do. It's this one here. So good. So good.
A few moments later.
This is getting out of control. This one's good too. If you like Lancome Prep Plus, oh gosh, I don't even know if they still have that. Prep Plus Prime Matte. No sorry, Bob. This is a dupe for it. I could do a dupe video in this video, right? This is a dupe for that. e.l.f. also makes a good primer.
Enough is enough.
But my favorite is the NYX. I'm going to have two because one you may not be able to find, and the other you may not be able to find your range in. But this here, I've said this for years, that I think that the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow, I don't like the matte one, but the Pro Glow one, this is so, so good. But you know, I mean, Fit Me by Maybelline is good, and
It's starting.
let's not go down that road, okay? But this is my absolute favorite one. Like, I don't know why you can't find this sometimes, but you know, if you can't, e.l.f. really didn't do a bad job with this soft glam. Now, you might have a problem with getting your shade. This one works for me, and I definitely am pink undertone. It's 20, like cool. This actually works for me very well, but we're going to use this one today.
I like using it with a spoon. Seriously, I like eating it. What?
I like using it with a sponge. Oh, for Pete's sake. Want to give it a shake. Hear how liquidy it is in there. Actually, pretty much anything L'Oreal makes with their foundation is pretty good. Just going to dot that all over my skin here, and I love it. This is actually not my shade. This one here is one shade up from the one that I normally buy. But I think I'm going to be able to make this work, especially after I powder it. And you may wonder, why get the dewy if you're going to powder it? If I do a matte foundation and then I powder it, I'm too matte. But a dewy powdered is pretty good. My preference is a loose powder. And I actually went to the drugstore to get this loose powder and they didn't have it. So I ended up getting the compact. And this is the one powder that I will tell you that the compact delivers the same result as the loose powder. This powder here, for some reason, the matte and poreless Fit Me from Maybelline, this powder here looks good, even though it's a compact. It does come with a sponge under there, but I had to go get that because I was going to tell you this one from Moira. But you got the drill by now, right? It's not something you can pick up at the drugstore, even though I feel like it should be classified as drugstore. This here, I think, is as close as a dupe as you're ever going to get, primarily because Givenchy doesn't make it anymore, to Givenchy's powder that was the what's that stuff, Prism Libre or something? It was so lovely, but then they reformulated it, so this is probably as close as you'll ever get to what that was. I think we'll use this, but I also want to show this because this here I misjudged for a long time. This is the Halo Glow Setting Powder, and I thought, you're not going to be able to set over your pores and stuff with it, but it's not too sparkly. I'll use both. We're going to use this one here, the Fit Me. Let me get my big old powder brush here, and I have it in translucent. This powder happens to come in shades also, so if you don't like, there you go, kind of see how it mattified that down a little bit, but didn't make my pores look horrible. And that's why I like the Fit Me loose powder, but it also works in the compact. I don't normally find that to be true. I normally find that compacts, they don't accomplish for me what I can get with a loose powder and a damp sponge. But I think this one did good. So I would say that Maybelline Fit Me is the best powder that you can get at the drugstore. And if you can't get the loose, get the compact. It has the advantage of being able to go with you. But like I said, this e.l.f., the Halo Glow one, awesome stuff. When it comes to bronzer, there's a few that I really, really love. I love Physicians Formula because it just always gives me a really pretty, effortless, not too orangey kind of look, but I've had good ones from e.l.f. And my favorite one is this. However, I have the hardest time finding this. So I never declutter this thing because it's so hard to find. You might be able to find it on Amazon. I'll see if I can find it and link it for you. It's not too orange. Beautiful bronze from L'Oreal, the Lumi Bronze It. I really, really love this one from e.l.f. It's cream. This looks like it might be too light. It's not. It's perfect. It's the Luminous Putty Bronzer, and the shade isn't on there. It's the lightest one. I'll have to look that up for you and link it below. This is in my favorites for the month. This is Physicians Formula. It's got the bronzer on one end and a blush on the other, and I think it comes in 3 shades. Let's just go ahead and go for this thing. Who at the drugstore doesn't make a good blush? Pretty much Physicians Formula, CoverGirl, they all do. They all make a good blush. Bronzer, however, is a little harder to do without getting too orange. So probably Physicians Formula. If you cannot stand the smell of the coconut beachy scent that you get with Physicians Formula, then maybe the e.l.f. The e.l.f. one is a really good one and very inexpensive. This thing here by Essence, and again, is this drugstore? You can't beat the price of Essence. And I think Essence actually is in some drugstores. The Moira one I just talked to you about not that long ago. I'm obsessed with that. I hate saying obsessed because all the young girls abuse that word, but it is so pretty. So pretty. And you know, when I'm looking at 62 for a highlighter, I want something that's going to give very subtle highlight, not I can see you from outer space kind of thing. And that's why I always tend to want to give it to e.l.f. You can find e.l.f. at the drugstore, but this isn't a powder, so if you don't like patting on a cream, maybe go to Ulta and pick up this because you can't lose with this thing. This e.l.f. is a straight up dupe for Charlotte Tilbury's. Why can't I think of anything today? This thing, the Hollywood Flawless Filter.
I'm just gonna kick myself in the butt. Butt kick. Kick my butt. You kick my butt. Somebody should kick my butt.
I forgot the concealer. Hello, but I don't think it's a surprise to anybody that my favorite concealer, and probably this makes my top 10 of all time, is NYX Bare Pro. This is wonderful concealer. It beats a lot of high-end concealers. I'm not lacking for content where I show this concealer. I mean, even if you go look at a concealer video of mine within the last year or so, this is going to be in there. In my opinion, this is the concealer you get from the drugstore. But
Here we go again.
I do have to tell you that I can pull off the e.l.f. Camo, the one that's hydrating. I can pull off this one. This one from L'Oreal, True Match. I can pull off that one. But my absolute favorite is this one, even if I didn't put it on today.
It happens because it's Fritzy around here. It's Fritzy around here. Fritzy around here. I don't know how to wrap.
Before I do my brows and my mouth, let's talk setting spray. In my opinion, the best setting sprays at the drugstore are made by e.l.f. And that's going to be one of these two. This one here can actually be used as a primer as well. It is a dupe for the one by... Oh, you ever be like thinking of something and it leaves your head? I bet it's never happened to you. Just me. They put the CBD in everything. Ah, what in the world is the name of that company? Well, you know who I'm talking about, right? I'll show you a picture of it. All right, this is a dupe for that. Shake it up, spray it all over your face, and your makeup, I guarantee you, will stay on your face. I love this one too, and it comes with this ball bearing in it. This is Stay All Night Microfine Setting Spray. So, if you just need your makeup to stay, this. But if you're going to be like sweating it off or being in the pool or whatever, this. Either one of these, e.l.f. knows how to do a setting spray.
Where did it go? On the ground. On the ground. On the deep down. It's 6 inches down.
I like the smell of this one. It smells like cucumber water or something like that. I probably would have already done my brows by now, but I just don't want to open this. So let me tell you a little story.
About a man named Jed. A poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. But then one day he was looking for some crude, and up through... Oh, no, he was looking for food. And then up through the ground came a bubbling crude oil, that is. Black gold. Texas tea. Well, the next thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. Want me to shut up too bad.
Make it stop, please! Make it stop!
Anyway, until recently, I would have told you that brows, drugstore, just skip everybody else. Just go straight for NYX. You can't lose. Any pencil there. This one here is the Micro, a dupe for the ABH Brow Wiz. Then the one I've been using, it's kind of like a blade. I just talked about it in a favorites or something. I've looked around here for a little bit and I can't find it.
Louie Lua. Oh no, it like rolled away.
I don't know what that was called. And then this one is a micro blade. They just know how to do brow really well. Except for the Lift and Snatch, which I always got behind before, from the time it came out until recently, because I ruined 2 pieces of clothing because it flicks the product all over my clothes and I can't stand it. But this here, yeah. Picked it up at the drugstore yesterday because I was like, oh, I really wanted to get that again, and we'll see if it flicks product. It has this gel on the end. I don't think it's enough, but it's got a cute little brush, right? It's just, it doesn't have enough oomph to it, I don't think. But if you're comfortable with a brow pen, then I would say this one here called the Build-A-Brow. And that would be if you need to draw hairs like I do, like in the front of my brow. Those are so light, you can't see them anymore. I mean, they're just like too far and few between. Anyway, let's take that off. It did not flick. Product everywhere. So, NYX, I think you're a leader when it comes to the drugstore and brows, but maybe you want to find out how Maybelline pulled that off. And so because I need to draw little hairs here, I'm going to use this. But if you don't have a steady hand, maybe you don't want to go for that. Here, let's try this one here. It's not the one I wanted to use today, but, you know, it's good. It's the Micro Brow one. I haven't used this one forever, so if it's dried up, then I would certainly understand it. But yeah, you can't go wrong with a NYX product. They've got ones that go to powder. They've got ones like the microblade and actual blade products. Little blade. I know they made this thing to compete with the Benefit Precisely My Brow Detailer. It's not a round one like that one. This one is a little tiny blade, but it absolutely lets you have the same experience, the same look as that one. Let me just finish my brows. See if I can find that pencil. I heard it. It dropped and rolled somewhere.
Drop and roll. Drop and roll. Drop and roll. Yeah. Louie Lua. Oh, yeah, I don't know why I like that song today.
You know, I was sitting there complaining about the high cost of drugstore products now, but it seems to me, and maybe I'm wrong, but that drugstore products have gotten better, and maybe that's why. I mean, of course the economy has something to do with it, but you know, maybe the reason that the prices for the drugstore products have gone up is because they've had to put a lot more into the products. You know, I mean, because if you think about it, before YouTube, a lot of people would just go to the drugstore. They didn't know any better. They didn't know about anything else that might be out there. But I think after YouTube came along, just ignore this, okay? I don't have a product like this from the drugstore. But this one here, you know, from Sephora's collection, it is priced about what I think you would pay at the drugstore for a good one. But in any case, you know, maybe because of YouTube, drugstore products had to up their game. Because if they don't up their game, then they're, by gosh, not going to get business. So maybe the drugstore products have gotten better. Now, I wanted to mention this product because some of you may not do what I do, which is, you know, I'm absolutely going to go for my YSL pen to clean up my brows. That's what I do. That's what I do. But some of you may not do that. Some of you may want to dupe for the Highbrow by Benefit. And I'm going to give you one that is straight on a dupe. If you go to Ulta and you pick up this dual-ended thing here, this is a dupe for Benefit Highbrow. It's got the champagne-y one and then the pinky one there. Okay, so this is a dupe, and they have it in a couple of different shades, and some of you do this instead of what I do. And I just wanted to, since we're talking about drugstore, again, price and a dupe for something that's high-end. I could probably call this video dupes for high-end. My favorite drugstore dupes for high-end, because we got a lot of it in here, don't we? We do. You know, I guess probably like the blush, probably everybody at the drugstore makes a lip liner that's okay. But I chose this lip liner because of the lipstick choice, all right? And that would be e.l.f. I like these little pencils that they have, and you can sharpen them. And I don't know what the shade is because they had it on the package or something on the end, or I don't remember what the deal was with it. But I threw them all away. Like I bought a whole bunch of these and then I threw whatever had the shade on it away. So I don't know what it is. So pay attention if you get yours to what the shade is, if you like want to tell somebody. But I love these lip liners, and I'm not the person who like lines my lips and then puts on lipstick. I actually fill in my mouth. It will make your lipstick hang around longer. So if you're going out to eat with people, try doing this and see if it doesn't hang around longer. For the price and everything, you get bang for the buck. I mean, these are really good lip liners at the drugstore. But like I said, the reason that I chose that was because I'm like, I think that nobody beats e.l.f. lipsticks at the drugstore. And I'm not counting liquid lips because I know Maybelline has got a tattoo one that'll hang around forever, and Rimmel does really good. Well, you know, there's a few at the drugstore. Maybelline makes these crayons and stuff, but your typical lipstick, e.l.f. did this, and they absolutely duped NARS Audacious lipstick line, because that's what these are. This one's in Dirty Talk. I have 3 or 4 more of these. You can't beat these. That is just beautiful. And for my lip gloss girl wearers, I think Maybelline makes the best. I like Maybelline's this. Now, I do want to give you a warning. When you use a lip plumper, you are asking to agitate the crap out of your lips, because what's in it is, see, there's some kind of an aggravating agent in a lip plumper. Maybe if you're sensitive, don't do that, because this one will. And so what I like to do is take, this one here is called Lifter Plump by Maybelline. And the way I like to use this sucker is, if I'm going to use it, I put it on my mouth while I'm doing my makeup, and then take it off before I put on my products because it will plump up my mouth. But I don't do this too many times because the whole idea behind this is to agitate the crap out of your mouth so that it actually plumps up. So just saying, if you like that, okay, but I'm giving you a warning. It's probably not a good thing to do every single day, all day. But they also make the Lifter Lip Gloss. And this one here is just gorgeous. I have 2 of them. And it is got these little white sparkles in it. It's just a beautiful, comfortable gloss. Tell me below anything I may have missed. Am I missing out? Is there something that you love that is drugstore that I like? You need to try this. So let me know that below. I want to let you know that you are the best part of the Fritzy family and that if you're not having a blessed day, the way you get one is to go be a blessing to somebody else and watch how that makes everything just turn right around. In your heart, you're going to feel so good. And then I also want to let you know that if the Lord's willing, I'll see you next time. Love you. See ya. Bye. And I'm out.